Dr. Patel, there was some really exciting news recently that was presented about the Majestic 3 trial using daratumumab and teclistamab together. And I believe it's after first relapse or in the first couple of relapses. Can you talk about that study a little bit more?
Yeah, no, it's really exciting. Some of the best data we've seen. So this was using teclistamab as a BCMA bispecific with daratumumab as an anti-CD38 antibody. The patient population was a little different than what we see in second. It is after first relapse, so patients were either in second, third, or fourth, but mostly in second line of therapy. Um, Only 5% of patients had actually had anti-CD38 before. So that is a little different than what we see in our practice today because most of my patients are getting anti-CD38s in front line. But the idea is that Tec and Dara together not only do both kill myeloma, but the Dara can actually knock down some of the regulatory T cells and B cells you have. So in our body, we have T cells that attack and kill things. And then we have something called regulatory T cells and regulatory B cells that actually help calm the immune system down. This is how we don't get autoimmune disease, right? They're the police of our system to keep things calm. But sometimes that's what keeps us from responding to treatments like teclistamab, where we're trying to activate the T cells. If the regulatory cells are there, they might kind of, calm it down too much where it's not working. And so the idea is that with Dara, you're killing those off. So now there's a bigger party and you have more effect, right, from the activating T cells or the effector T cells. And so the data was amazing. Again, the response rates, high 80s, low 90s for different subgroups, and the PFS. So the progression-free survival median, meaning half the patients at 3 years was still around 83, 84%. So they're not close to being at 50% of patients relapsing yet, and that's at 3 years. So the study, the treatment that other patients got if they got randomized to the other arm that they're comparing against was dara-pom-dex or dara-velcade-dex, but I think most patients got the dara-pom. And so again, compared to that, it showed a huge benefit that the patients getting dara-teclistamab did way better than dara-pomalidomide dex. Again, most of these patients had not seen dara, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens when you've had that already or if you've had it for a long time. Will adding the dara make a difference? I think the efficacy, phenomenal again, but the other big things to really watch out for, though, will be how we apply it in the real world. And again, having a specialist to help you with this. Um, the infection rate. So the infection rate was over 90% as well, and about 53% had grade 3, 4 infections, meaning that they ended up in the hospital or were getting IV antibiotics. So not just a simple cold or anything like that. And so everybody started getting IVIG. There were unfortunately deaths on the study initially because of COVID and when patients weren't getting IVIG. When everybody started getting IVIG, patients had a lower risk of death from infections, but really the supportive care is really important with these bispecifics. And again, I think in the future, it's going to be interesting. I told people that for my patients, we've started giving this if I can get it approved as of right now, after CAR T or after they've had other cell therapies. And so far, again, it's early, but they're doing well. But really, the prophylaxis and the supportive care you need is really important. So the IVIG, making sure you're not only on anti-shingles or varicella treatments like Valtrex, but also on anti-PJP prophylaxis continuously, something like Bactrim or Mepron or something else. But really, all of the supportive care is just as important as the treatment to make sure you don't get side effects. But again, a great option for folks who don't go to CAR T or for after CAR T.
Mhm. And then was that trial, was it looking at a limited duration of daratumumab and teclistamab, or is this ongoing until progression?
Is
Okay.
continuous. So that's
Yeah.
one of my biggest
Yeah.
things, takeaways too, is that in the real world, I will stop it or go to every 3 months. They did
Yeah.
go to monthly after a while,
Okay.
but even monthly is still a lot in terms of your hitting your immune system. So I do
Yeah.
believe that there's other companies that are trying to do limited or the real world. We're doing a lot of limited, duration type studies because again, we want patients to be able to come off all of this and kind of get their immune systems back. I think the cell mods are going to be great to try to bring it back, but again, letting your body just rest will also help and maybe help a little faster.
Yeah. Well, great. Thank you for explaining that. That's really important information too.